A feeling gently hummed from these mountains, surreal to the heart. A sacred painting where time stands still, drenched in culture and bright-hued prayer flags. A home in the mountains, untouched by the rest. A resilient ecosystem, forging serenity and humility in its truest form. My homeland, my pride. I am Sonam Diki Bhutia, an actress by profession, but a wanderluster by heart. I am going to show you how my beautiful hometown, Sikkim, has evolved in the field of art, literature, and music while vigorously embracing the new startup culture at the same time. Known as the Himalayan Wonderland, Sikkim is nestled in the foothills of the eastern Himalayas, bordered by Bhutan, Tibet, and Nepal. Before 1975, it was a remote Himalayan kingdom ruled by the Chogyals, and now it is the 22nd state of India, which is rich in exotic nature, unique culture, and hospitality. The peaceful environment, scenic snow-clad mountains, picturesque landscapes, delicious local food, and beautiful happy people make Sikkim one of the top holiday destinations in India. I started my journey from my ancestral home for Damchin. It is a small hamlet close to the Indo-China border, which is perched on the slopes of the Himalayan foothills in East Sikkim. Located at 800 feet covered with dense pine forest, the village lies at a distance of 8 kilometers from Zuluk and 14 kilometers from Rongli. I was woken up to a beautiful morning by chirping of the birds in the background and the familiar loud sharp voice of my aunt who works in the kitchen from the wee hours of the morning. To be woken up by birds chirping rather than startling alarm clock and the omission of guilty snooze buttons is one of the first things that made me realize that I was finally home. The view was so calming. There was not a single sight of urbanization or tall claustrophobic skyscrapers. People here are very simple. They are content with what they have, and this very essence makes Sikkim different than the rest of the country. I slowly climb up the wooden stairs of my house to get a good view with a cup of hot tea, and I wanted to let the feeling sink in. The feeling of finally being home. The fondest memory I have of my ancestral home has to be with my late granddad. I remember celebrating festivals with him. We used to dance around the fire, play mahjong, eat and make merry. Every corner of this house gives me nostalgia and radiates warmth that mellows my heart. Later on, I was with my aunt, Annie in my language. We had decided to cook dinner together. We planned on making traditional cuisines. I started off with chupi, which is the local cottage cheese and one of the easiest cuisines to make. In the middle of our kitchen is a traditional furnace known as bukhari. It consists of a burning stove fueled by wood which cooks food as well as heats the whole room. Bukhari is the main source of heat during winters. It can be snowing heavily outside, but on the inside, one can just wear a jacket and still feel warm. During my childhood, I found it to be the most interesting element in the entire house. And till today, I am still amazed by its mechanism. After having delicious home-cooked food in ages, I hit the bed excited for the following day and its surprises. For my second day of my trip, I plan to visit Zuluk, Nathang Valley, Memenchu Lake, which are among the top tourist attractions in Sikkim. The meandering roads covered with pine trees enthralled me, and I got lost for a while. We finally reached Zuluk and the Silk Route. We couldn't see the zigzag roads on the mountain slopes due to the foggy weather, but the view was just exciting and spectacular. Further north, at an altitude of 13,500 feet, I reached Nathang Valley, where I stopped to drink hot tea at a small tea shack. I didn't think at such high altitude there would be a sign of people or settlement, and here I was sipping tea at the small tea shack, amazed to see it packed by local tourists, armies, and local drivers at frequent intervals. Long ago, during the time when the Zalipla Pass was open for everyone, Nathang Valley used to be a grazing field for the Tibetan yak herders. Few kilometers after the valley, I stopped to visit the old Baba Mandir. It is a temple dedicated to an Indian army martyr, Baba Harbhajan, where his samadhi has been kept. It is strongly believed by the locals and the army personnel here that his spirit lives and guards the Indo-China border. On the way to Memenchu Lake, we stopped at Kupup Valley, which has 18-hole golf course and has been acclaimed as the world's highest altitude golf course by the Guinness Book of World Records. Kupup is very, very cold right now. It's freezing cold. Along the valley, one can see the beautiful Elephant Lake, and I knew this picturesque landscape would definitely haunt me during my busy city days. As I arrived to Memenchu Lake, I had this gut feeling that I would be welcomed with an aesthetic view, and after a few minutes of walking from the car parking area to the lake, I was proven right. Trekking along, and finally I have reached my destination, Memenchu Lake, and it is one of the sacred lakes in Sikkim and also in the highest altitude, and I'm just so relieved seeing this beautiful view out here, and I think it's tremendously beautiful. You can see the lake out there. The more I walked towards the lake, the conviction of nature being the main source of inspiration got stronger and stronger. It felt like the lake was a beautiful living creature, untouched by humans and unattainable to explore its vast beauty. Memenchu Lake area is also known as Roads to Heaven, as its beauty is unearthly and words fall short to describe its beauty. The lake is believed to be sacred by the locals, and it is said only fated ones are able to visit it. I cannot even begin to explain how I was feeling at this particular moment. I was overwhelmed by its beauty. I felt small and equally inspired at the same time. It was a different world here altogether. The crystal clear glacial waters meeting the lakes, skirting through the deep slopes covered by virgin pine forest was a beautiful sight to see. We couldn't see the Himalayan bear which inhabits these forests, but it is said they are usually found in this area along with different species of birds.
Sonam Diki. Hapo. Ila. That's
Later on, we danced, sat round the bonfire, sipped some local rice beer, and I heard my elders tell tales of our family, village, and our culture. Next morning, I headed to Tongu Lake, which was at an altitude of 12,400 feet. The lake is one of the most visited tourist hotspots here in Sikkim. In winters, the lake is frozen and the surroundings are covered with snow. Although the weather did not favor me, but I was glad to see the spectacular view of the beautiful lake. It is a must to take a yak ride while in Tongu Lake, so I was introduced to Puchung the handsome yak. It is believed that in the olden times, Buddhist monks would study the color of the lake to foretell the future. I'm here in Tongu Lake, and Tongu Lake is one of the most visited tourist destinations in Sikkim. I'm already into 1,500 feet high altitude, and today is very chilly, it's very cold. And I've already done the yak ride. Now I'm heading towards Lachung. After getting drenched in the rain at Tongu Lake, I finally reached Lachung, the northern part of Sikkim, which is near the border with Tibet. It takes 6 to 7 hours to reach Lachung from Gangtok and is located at the confluence of the River Lachen and River Lachung, both tributaries of River Tista. The word Lachung means small pass, and this picturesque mountain village at the height of 8,160 feet, embraced by majestic snow-capped mountains, Breathtaking waterfalls, beautiful traditional houses, and serene landscape can make any traveler weak at their knees. I stayed at this beautiful resort known as Bayul Alpine Resort, which was referred to me by a friend. Lachung is usually covered with snow during winters, and according to Joseph Dalton Hooker, a British explorer, Lachung is described as the most picturesque village of Sikkim on his book The Himalayan Journal 1855. I must say this cozy log cabin resort stole my heart, making it one of the highlights from my trip to Lachung. During my short conversation with the owner of the resort, he told me he had personally designed the whole resort along with the interiors. The resort has 3 big cottages and separate cozy cottage which serves as the kitchen along with the dining hall and a bar. One of my serendipitous moments here was when I encountered a huge mountain just at the back of the resort. It felt like it was guarding the resort and its surroundings, and little did I know I would encounter a breathtaking view of gushing waterfall just few steps further from the resort. Later on, for dinner, I was served beef stew, green vegetables, salad and rice, which was one of the best meals I had in a long time. I was scrolling down my social media feed and I came across this beautiful poem written by Ayana from a local virtual poetry community called the Darling Writers here in Sikkim. And right now, in this quietude, I would like to recite this poem. Where I belong. I want to find love in places I've never seen. I want to find joy in houses I've never been. I want to hold on to the things I've never had, and maybe I'll never have. Uncertainty sometimes yields deep-seated happiness. I don't know about you, but I would certainly want to live for moments like that. The ordinary nooks that serves a beautiful view. Isn't it a surprise to find joy locked up in ordinary places? Places next to a car window, the sky above you, a person, a heart, and so many other things that we are ignorant of. Life is about unboxing new experiences, feelings, and giving yourself a chance to feel that chemical imbalance in your body. It is about enjoying the uncertainties. I want to. I really want to. On the second day of Lachung, I was woken up by the beautiful sunrise and I was elated to travel to Yumthang Valley. It takes an hour and a half to reach Yumthang Valley from Lachung. Yumthang Valley is situated at an altitude of 11,800 feet and is one of the famous valleys of Sikkim. The valley is covered with snow during winters, while rhododendrons colors the valley in red during spring. As the vehicle traversed through the breathtaking mountains covered with red pine trees and fog, I couldn't help but glorify God's wonderful creation. Just close to the valley, one can find cozy hot spring shacks lined up. It is said These sulfur-rich springs have miraculous healing power. After witnessing the breathtaking heavenly scene, I got back to Lachung for a quick lunch before I left for Gangtok. Upon reaching Gangtok after 8 hours of traveling, I stayed at Metal and Fern Hotel and I headed over to their newly opened cafe just downstairs, which was creating a buzz in town. How did you come up with an idea to open this gelato bar and scoot cafe?
Gangtok doesn't have much choice for ice cream, and we need to depend on ice cream which is coming from Bombay or from Calcutta, and they've got a lot of preservatives. They have to be brought from Calcutta by road and stuff, so they have to be stocked here. So we thought, why not make it ourselves, And since I've always been interested in making a lot of flavors on my own, trying out different stuff, so we contacted this company in Bombay. Amore is actually an Italian company. They're an Italian brand, and they have their collaboration in Bombay. That I use all local products. Okay, so we're doing all everything from our organic avocados to
Finally, I have made it to Gangtok's most coveted bookstore, the Rachna bookstore. This bookstore is not only a bookstore but also a brewing place for young artists and musicians. And seeing this beautiful environment here, I'm already loving it, and I think we should check in. Let's go in. Here I'm served with a cup of fresh coffee and carrot cake. So by friendly caretaker of this bookstore, Ramesh Taju. So I'm just going to. Among other bookstores and bookstore owners of Sikkim, Raman Shestra, the proprietor of Rachna Books, is one of the most quintessential bookmen I've ever come across. Known for his altruistic nature towards young local artists and musicians combined with his entrepreneurship skills, he has been a cornerstone for most of their careers. Although I couldn't meet him this time, but just being there gave me immense happiness and satisfaction. Sikkim has recently been donned with numerous awards and recognition during the past few years. I'm here in this ropeway station right now in Gangtok, and we guys are going to experience beautiful landscape out here. Let's see. Under the guidance of the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Pawan Kumar Chamling and his reign for 21 years, Sikkim has seen immense growth in economy, tourism and hospitality, urban development, infrastructure, and the overall awareness among the citizens. We are in Dewan station right now, and we are going back to the same place from where we came from. You can just watch the view. It's so wonderful and incredible. I just love it. Although there's always ebbs and flow for a movement, but I'm proud to say that Sikkim has been open to new changes and is positively embracing them. I have finally made to the place where I first started my modeling career. I present you Anna's Bridal Boutique, Gangtok's first boutique in traditional fusion wear. Back in 2012, I was asked to model for their premiere photo shoots, and ever since then, I have never looked back in my modeling career. The boutique was established in the year 2010 by designer Anna Lama. When she started, it was a very new concept for the locals, but gradually people, especially the youngsters and later on the elders, started liking this new movement in fashion that was painting the town red.
In the beginning, I saw people, especially youngsters, were more inclined to Western dresses and dresses of all other cultures. So I realized जति पनि यंगस्टरलाई अलिकति एट्र्याक्सनको लागि है अलिकति I need to create some new designs.
She says she saw youngsters were more inclined towards Western dresses and dresses of other cultures, and that made her realize there was a huge need to create our very own traditional dresses more interesting. What I like is the flower which is going till back, and it's like not only just in front, even the entire back part where it goes up with and I like the color. Over the course of 6 years, she has successfully created fusion traditional outfits for several ethnic communities of Sikkim, such as Rai, Subba, Mangar, Tamang, Gurung, Pradhan, Bhutia, and Lepcha. Like every town has a town square, we have it too. Situated between the lines of buildings on each side, we have a two-way lane road known as MG Marg or Mahatma Gandhi Marg, which has been converted into a public open space where automobiles are restricted. Different than other town squares around the world, it has a charm of its own. I and my friends joke about how one can meet their friends, families and relatives at one go by just taking a stroll in MG Marg. This is the main town area with mushroom-like growing restaurants, cafes, fancy shops, art galleries, and curious, which is not just loved by the tourists, but by the locals too. Here, I find the perfect concoction of urbanization, commerce, rich heritage with a peaceful backdrop. After visiting the boutique, I stopped at TCS, also known as the coffee shop. This coffee shop has been a go-to place for all youngsters in Gangtok, and personally, it's my favorite too. Normally when I come here, I order for hazelnut latte, which on request can be made tipsy during winters. So who wouldn't want that when the weather's so chilly?
Caught up in a world that's so black and white.
So if you happen to come to Gangtok, make sure you visit this most coveted coffee shop and try the pizzas.
You can hear them crying, and if the blackbird sings in the night.
Also, like I mentioned before, this is a place to bump into your friends and family or that perfect stranger. Talk about mute hello hand signs across glass windows.
Shade of gray, not too close to the
I met my school friend Smirna and school senior Rinchan here at coffee shop. It was good to revisit old memories, get local updates, and that's when I realized I had missed a lot, and by now, Gangtok had already charmed me all over again. In the end, I would choose this place to come and relax after a long, tiring day. Just looking at this calming view, enjoying delicious food, and being surrounded by familiar faces is definitely one of the reasons why I love my hometown. In the evening, I reached Hotel Sonam Diki on an invitation of my friend Smirna, who was going to perform later with her band.
I'm here at Sonam Diki today, and my friend Smirna is performing music. She's invited me today for the program, and I'm really excited to see her perform, and I'm looking forward to be there and watch her program.
Hotel Sonam Diki is a 3-star heritage hotel located in the heart of capital Gangtok. It was constructed in the year 1963 to accommodate royal guests with the best Sikkimese hospitality during the coronation of Sikkim's last king, Palden Thondup Namgyal. The hotel aims to continue the same legacy by providing its guests with the best hospitality, comfortable accommodation, along with modern facilities in royal and traditional manner.
They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got no place to go. And so I want you to know, starting with the man in the mirror, I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could be any clearer. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change, change. Na na na, na na na, na 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 na.
Hi. Hello. Hello. So nice to see you. So nice to see you too. Come. I just saw your performance right now. So I just really loved your performance today, and I think you're great on stage today.
What response are you getting as an artist out here?
I must
in Sikkim?
say, like, the scene is really like not that great here, but then the people are really supportive. Like when we upload things on Instagram, on Facebook, or on YouTube, they really support us. And especially you can see the crowd today. Like there are a lot of people. So I feel like they've come to support us, and I can really feel that energy when I'm performing. So it feels great. I feel like people really support us.
So, can you say something about yourself?
Well, that's easy and hard at the same time. My name is Smirna something Sherpa, and I'm like actually an MBBS student. I'm doing my MBBS from Manipal, and singing is my passion.
well as
So
studying.
I've been singing since a very long time. Started from my bathroom, and now I'm here. So it's going good. That is who I am.
It's really lovely to have you out here, and it really thanks for coming. Later on, as I got to know one of my favorite Nepali artists, Bipul Chhetri, along with the traveling band was performing here in Gangtok, I hopped into a cab and made my way to Cafe Infinity Futsal. Cafe Infinity Futsal is a place of its kind. Known for its exciting events and parties, it is counted among the most happening places here in Gangtok. The cafe with its industrial decor overlooks the futsal arena, where they also frequently host football games and Zumba sessions for the locals. Bipul Chhetri is an Indian singer-songwriter of Nepali language folk music with a contemporary touch. His debut album Sketches of Darjeeling became the highest-selling album on OKListen.com and was hugely appreciated by audience worldwide. Currently, he works at the Vasant Valley School in New Delhi, where he heads the arts department. Among the crowds, I saw few familiar faces, and two of those faces had to be Jonathan Berner and River Chetri. I know them since high school, and it felt so nice to meet them again. Lately, they have been making news in Sikkim and Northeast. Jonathan Berner was titled as the youngest CEO in Sikkim last year. He owns a promotion and advertising company here in Sikkim known as the Priority Promotion, and at present he is pursuing his degree in business administration. A congenital entrepreneur, River Chetri has many feathers on his hat. Known to have 32 successful business ventures at the age of 22, needs no further introduction. He was titled as the Entrepreneur of the Year 2016 by Young Leaders Connect. Among his several business ventures and success stories is Any Taxi, which has been creating waves in Northeast region. I had to sit down with them for a cup of coffee and talk about their achievements and experiences. Since you have recently been titled as the youngest CEO of Sikkim, can you tell me more about yourself?
Yeah, starting young and starting strong, I think it's very important for our generation. And what my benefit was, I was young and people started to notice me. I think now the generation has to start early, get a boost start, and then do their business. When I started, I did not know about my business, what I was going to do, and later when I started doing it, I started understanding it, and now I think I'm getting it. To tell you about my work is to promote brands in Sikkim. Okay. Do their branding, control their Facebook, social media, everything, do their email marketing and all. It's basically online, and we do the designings also. We do design websites and all, and it's pretty interesting to work and have people under you working. So it's nice to be an employer, not an employee.
That's very nice.
I don't call myself an entrepreneur actually, but I love building enterprises, and recently I have been selected as top 5 for the Entrepreneur 2016, which is going to be held in Cinematographer on 20th and 29th of this month. So in that event, I'm pitching about Northeast Taxi, which is actually a startup which I started long back in 2013 when I was in second year in my college. So I have been pushing the company since then, and right now I can probably call it one of the most popular and widespread car rental agency in Northeast.
I headed home on a night a lot like
As I
this.
got out of the car, the massive statue of Lord Shiva amidst the breathtaking natural scenery captivated my heart.
There used
I felt the overpowering presence of God, and it was one of the most amazing as well as awakening spiritual experience for me. Char Dham means the 4 abodes in Hindi, and they are the names of the 4 pilgrimage sites in India that are widely revered by the Hindus. This is the Shiv Dwar out here, and Lord Shiva is considered one of the powerful lords of Hinduism, and I've just come from inside. We have Siddheshwari Dham, also known as Char Dham, here in Sikkim. It is situated on top of hill called Sulupuk, which is at a distance of 5 kilometers from Namchi. The area spans over 29.9 hectares, and it is claimed to be one of the dream projects of the Honorable Chief Minister of Sikkim. I would urge everyone to visit this holy place once in their lifetime. Deep within the quiet hills of Kitam Namchi lies a studio that's one of its kind. Known as Matu Studio, a residence-cum studio housed by artist Reena can be a beautiful example of an artist and her creative ecosystem. Mato is deeply rooted in the rich fabric of culture and heritage of Sikkim. Each Mato piece is delicately handicrafted and finely detailed by the local artisans over long hours of work spanning the entire process from design to the final stage of painting. Mato takes the ancient art of pottery and ceramic painting to create an alternative vision of development in Sikkim, providing sustainable livelihoods for local artisans with an ethical and environment-friendly enterprise. I'm here at Mato Studio right now with Narration, the person behind Mato Studio. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, it's nice to have you here.
Can you please tell me about your artwork and plus your journey so far?
This is Studio Motto. It's basically studio pottery.
Yeah.
We don't do mass production. Every product that we have here is handmade. It's handcrafted, and a lot of thought and effort has been put into. And most importantly, I wanted to make something in Sikkim, like a souvenir. And I always wanted to have something that has a story behind it, and hence the Mato Studio was conceived. And we've been, I work with two kinds of clay. Most importantly, Mato was all about identity, my journey of my self-discovery and getting in touch with my roots. So the studio itself is located in my ancestral village, and this is where my ancestors lived. And so for me, it was very important for me. And Motto is all about, Motto is immortal, you know. I mean, there's a saying that you come from the earth and then you go back to the earth, yeah. And then the Mother Nature, I mean Mother Earth aspect. It was very close to my heart, and pottery always fascinated me. I mean, it was one artwork that I was always very keen on doing it, and so I pursued a career and in this. Not exactly a career, I would call it a passion, because I've put in a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifices to do what I'm doing right now, and I'm actually living my dream. Yeah.
Mato, earth in Nepali, is a reminder of our mortality, yet containing within it the promises of life and hope. After enjoying gastronomical traditional dishes, I made my way back to my friend's home at Rabongla. Next morning, on the way to Bhutia Park, I was welcomed by the lush greens of Timmy Tea Garden. The Timmy Tea Garden in Rabongla, South Sikkim is the only tea garden in Sikkim, and it is not only considered one of the best in India but also worldwide. It was established in the year 1969 by the government of Sikkim, and the garden spans a total area of around 453 acres. It proudly produces top quality tea which has an international demand, and they are Timmy Tea, Sikkim Soja, Sikkim Kanchenjunga Tea and Mystic. During winters, the garden is veiled by beautiful blooms of cherry blossoms. The lush tea garden overlooking the backdrop of the majestic Kanchenjunga was a refreshing state to encounter. But deep in my heart, I knew this was just the beginning. I reached Bhutia Park, which is locally known as Tathagat Sthal at Rabongla. Every time I come to visit this place, the holy serene ambience, the chants of Om Mani Padme Hum, the beautiful statue of Sakyamuni Buddha fills my heart with reverence and inner peace. I have been waiting waiting to visit this place as I wanted to seek Lord Buddha's blessing for my career. This is Sakyamuni Buddha, and this statue is about 130 feet high. It was constructed on 25th of March 2013 by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. The beautiful 130 feet high statue of Sakyamuni Buddha is the center of attraction for many. The statue was consecrated on 25th of March 2013 by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama in the presence of the State Chief Minister Mr. Pawan Kumar Chamling and several other Buddhist delegates. The park was constructed between the year 2006 to 2013 with the initiative of the state government and its people to mark the 2558th birth anniversary of Lord Buddha. Since then, Buddha Park has been an important pilgrimage center for locals as well as tourists along the globe. The park is well planned with ample of walkways, gardens and small traditional-looking houses as cafes. The beautiful mountains as the backdrop and the spiritual ambience filled my heart with unexplainable peace. So next time, if you're planning to visit Sikkim, make sure you visit this holy place and truly get blessed. Lately, there has been another place here in Sikkim which has been drawing attention of locals and applause from tourists because of its basic culture ambience. The place is known as Malingo Homestay, and after 76 kilometers of traveling from Rabongla, I finally reached the much-awaited place. Mr. Rai, the owner of the homestay, extended a warm welcome by garlanding me with a silk scarf known as khada, which is the Sikkimese style of welcoming a person. I reached there around 6 o'clock in the evening and it was quite dark. The homestay was located amidst the woods and I was led towards my room by one of the family members. While walking towards the cottage, I could hear the chirring of crickets and the various insects growing in the serene quietude of the woods.
This is the second room where one person has sleep. This is the bed. Upstairs is the attic. Okay.
It's very nice. I really like this place right now. The cottage where I was staying was one of the most adorable cottages I have ever been to. The cozy, elegant decor, wooden floors all left me spellbound. After resting for a while, I sat down to have a conversation with Mr. Rai, who was a very humble gentleman.
Malingo homestay and why Malingo? The meaning behind Malingo, actually.
See, actually, Malingo is one of the species of bamboos.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, this place, which is called Asaminje Pastanga, is very rich in varieties of bamboos.
Oh, okay.
So this whole area, when you can see in the morning, you know, that almost about let's see, out of three parts of the area is full of bamboos. So that's why we can easily get a lot of red pandas.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and we also do trekking.
Yeah.
So during that time, we see red pandas.
Pandas, okay, which is also the state animal.
Exactly.
Right.
So red panda, actually they survive with the leaves of the bamboos or the shoots, the tender shoots.
Tender shoots.
So actually this homestay, this concept actually somehow some like-minded people like Dr. B.V. Rai and then Dr. J.P. Tamang, myself and some of us, we actually had a small discussion regarding this homestay. So we said that let us not let us try
on.
what happens in the basti. You know?
Okay.
A bonfire was what followed after a homely dinner. Bonfire is one of the most wonderful and a necessary activity for winter nights in Sikkim. So we all gathered around the warmth of the fire, muffled with our scarves and sweaters. It reminded me of my childhood days when I would wake up in the winter mornings just to go and sit near the fireplace with my siblings and cousins. We used to struggle and compete to get the nearest and the coziest place to the fire. I woke up early the following day as I was excited to explore the place. It was a beautiful morning, the fresh air welcomed me, and I could see the mountains bathing in the early morning sun. Tall trees surrounded the homestay, turning the entire place into a beautiful nature-filled getaway. They even had tiny fish pond, few hamsters and rabbits, and an adorable full of energy Dalmatian named Milo. As I toured the common room of the homestay, I encountered beautiful paintings hung on the walls, and upon inquiry, I came to know it was painted by Mr. Ajoy Daniel Rai. Mr. Daniel is one of the two sons of Mr. Rai, and he's one of the best painters in town, whose works are highly appreciated in locals as well as national level. His paintings evoke beauty and emotional power, and since I've always been fascinated and inspired by art, it was amazing to see and feel the painter's imagination. This entire homestay was an artwork for me, as the expression and the application of tradition and culture of Sikkim creatively touch every aspect of the homestay. Whether it was the architecture, decor, food, or the hospitality, all of them spoke of the rich culture. It is the picturesque beauty of these mammoth mountains that lures people to Sikkim, and staying at such homestay provides an opportunity for the tourists to experience a Sikkimese lifestyle. Traveling isn't something one does, but actually, it's a part of who we are. It inspires and shapes us in unimaginable ways. As I continued my journey to Rumtek Monastery, which is located in the southeast of Gangtok, it felt like I was flipping through the old pages and I was filled with nostalgia. Rumtek Monastery is 24 kilometers away from Gangtok. It is one of the most visited monasteries as it is considered one of the highly sacred places for Buddhists, and it attracts global tourists and Buddhist followers all year around. I wore my traditional attire from Anna's Bridal Boutique to pay respect to the holy place. Towards the entrance of the main gate, I encountered a group of monks debating, and it was really interesting sight to watch. While I entered the monastery, I heard monks chanting their prayers, and it reminded me of my childhood days where my mother used to bring me here. The monastery, so grand and beautiful, stood tall right in front of me, and at that sheer moment, I felt like I had made the right choice to be here. Buddhism has taught me a lot of ethics and prayers, which has shaped and revolutionized my life. As I walked through the halls of monastery, the beautiful wooden carvings, bright, bold colors, and the little monks, also known as kushalas, painted a beautiful, happy picture, and I wanted to treasure this ethereal moment. I had reached towards the end of my journey, and since I'm a water baby, I had to find my way back to the waters, or at least dip my feet in the pool and reflect this entire trip along with ethereal experience. I'd like to believe that we all are travelers in this vast yet intriguing journey called life, and no matter the different situation our life has been circling around, we need to be hopeful enough to believe that the sun will shine on us. From the monks debating to the time I got the chance to make clay pots or watch my friend perform on stage, it has been an exhilarating experience which I know can only be found here in Sikkim. A place where modernization is intricately weaved in culture that teaches and inspires towards being a quintessential small towner. So this is my beautiful hometown Sikkim. I was so happy to meet all of these inspiring young people and imbibe on their knowledge. There was so much beauty in every little nook and corner, so much warmth in their smiles. And the collaborative celebration of creativity and art, reeking from a small town, reassured me that Sikkim is dynamically moving towards the light.